almost to itself. "It still hasn't quite sunk in," said Albert. "Gorvak fooled everyone in the entire college. How could someone as evil as him be related to someone as good as Eartha?" "Distant relation," Kip replied. "Suppose a lot can change in 400 years. "We solved Eartha's 10 riddles," said Albert. "He never should have got to the Ark first and stolen all her ideas. He never should have got away. It's so unfair. That sneaky slimeball slimed up to us and tricked us into thinking he was on our side. I'll never get tricked like that again." Kip felt a brief anger flush his face as a memory rose up from that day on the cliff, the day the Ark had been found. The sound Gorvak's boot had made as it connected with the parrot's ribcage. It didn't need to get broken, Kip thought. It shouldn't be broken. "At least it managed to fly back to us," he said. They both stared up at the black parrot. "I wonder if it's said anything else yet," Kip murmured. He felt an urge to stroke the parrot's wing. It looked so fragile. Kip reached out, but then thought better of it. This was a lab, and bursting into the middle of Professor Steampunk's experiment might not be wise. Instantly proving him right, a ticking sound came from the gnarled spirals, and they each released a beam of strange energy. A midnight blue sparkler trail and a stream of orange ripples met in the middle, exactly where the Ark of Ideas was. The two beams skirmished and sputtered. The Ark glowed for a moment, and a downfall of twinkling flakes cascaded to the floor. "Watch out!" cried Albert. The glittery residue formed an ankle-high wave, which surged towards them with a sound like rattling marbles. They jumped to one side and watched it go past. Kip had been at Quicksmiths for long enough now not to be surprised by the wave of unknown, strange energy that flowed up the wall and across the ceiling. "Looks like my little sis decorated your face," said Albert cheerily. Running a hand over his eyes and cheeks, Kip dislodged a rain of sparkles. He looked over at Albert to see lingering glitter melting down over the black starburst that crowned his head. "Ha!" Kip replied. "Well, it looks like my face decorated your hair." Overhead, the energy beams disappeared, and a voice foghorned in their direction from the other side of the lab. "Try the wing pit switch again, will you please, Dennis?" An odd-job drone approached from the left. Drifting at about chest height, it looked like a small, floating, many-trunked elephant. One of these thin trunks reached into the yellow spotlights and flicked a switch concealed under the parrot's wing. Its beak opened, and one eye fluttered. "The crazy paving," rasped the parrot, mechanically. "The crazy paving. The crazy paving." It went on like that for a while, until a second flick of the switch returned the Ark to its silent repose, and the drone descended from the spotlights. It turned towards Kip and Albert and regarded them serenely. "You have guests, Professor Steampunk," the drone said loudly. "Thank you, Dennis," a voice echoed in reply. "Over here! Follow the path!" An ember of energy. A tarmac-grey pathway curved around the research area at the centre of the lab. When Kip and Albert stepped on it, it sprang into motion, sweeping them past the spiral energy conductors and towards the far side of the room. As the pathway brought them closer, Kip saw that Professor Steampunk was upside down, standing on all four of his hands. Only the best kind of professor blows up their arms in an experiment and then builds themselves 4 new ones, Kip thought with a smile. Arms bending at the elbow like short, bone-kneed legs, the professor scuttled over to meet them. "I'm not always good at thinking on my feet," explained Steampunk as he sprang lightly the right way up. His spray of white hair was ruffled from being upside down, and his face flushed. All in all, he looked not so much like a professor, but more like a thin yeti.